Welcome to Kaumudy Global. On Tuesday, it was the 140th day of anti-Vizhinjam port agitation. On the same day, in a decision that augurs well for Kerala and its people, the Vizhinjam Action Council led by the Latin Archdiocese of Thiruvananthapuram called off its anti-port stir. Despite the fact it was an imbalanced agreement, the agitators accepted it conditionally though. The LDF government had nothing more to offer other than what it had promised before. The primary demand of the Action Council to halt port construction was rejected. This was expected as even the Opposition UDF had made it clear that it did not want the construction to stop. The demand to have a local representative in the expert committee constituted by the government to study the impact of construction on the coast was also turned down. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan also didn't give the church leaders any assurance on withdrawing the non-bailable charges slapped against the spiritual leaders of the Latin community, including Major Archbishop Thomas J. Netto. The Action Council convener, Father Eugene Pereira, said after he came out of the talks with the Chief Minister that the police had charged Section 307, that is attempt to murder, on people who were not even present at the site of occurrence. As for the other major demands like monthly rent for those living in nondescript relief camps, kerosene subsidy and subsistence wages for bad weather days, the agitators had to make many compromises. The decision came after a series of urgent high-level meetings the Action Council had on Tuesday, first with Chief Secretary, then with the Cabinet Subcommittee, and finally with the Chief Minister. During the discussion held in the Assembly the other day, the Chief Minister stood his ground. He even underscored his accusation that the church was controlled by outside forces out to sabotage the port. Father Eugene Pereira said that the Action Council is not fully satisfied with what has come to pass. Our major demand that the study should be conducted only after the construction is stopped is still left unresolved. The council wanted the government to increase the rent it had promised to coastal families desperate to move out of congested relief camps from rupees 5,500 to rupees 8,000. It also wanted the government to pay the entire amount from its coffers and not from Adani sources. The government said it could not offer more than rupees 5,500, but said it was willing to negotiate with Adani ports to secure the remaining from the CSR funds of the company. But the Action Council rejected this offer and they said that they would settle for rupees 5,500 rather than seek Adani's money. The government also turned down the plea for increasing the subsidy for kerosene. However, it has promised a one-time 50% subsidy to fishermen who would exchange kerosene-powered engines for ones powered by petrol, diesel, or other fuels. Another persisting demand was the need to compensate fisherfolk for bad weather days they are not permitted to go into the sea. This too was given a cold response. The government said that such livelihood assistance was already being provided and nothing more could be done. Further, the government gave a vague assurance that it would explore ways to extend the benefits of the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme and the Ayangali Urban Employment Guarantee Scheme to fishermen-related work. Perhaps the only reprieve to the agitators was a state-level monitoring cell chaired by the Chief Secretary to review the progress of the agreement. Though the agitators sustained the agitation for nearly 5 months as a do-or-die fight for survival, their moral face got disfigured after violent protests at Mullur and Vizhinjam on November 26th and 27th. The Vizhinjam police station was vandalized, policemen were attacked and stones were pelted at homes. Moreover, there were visuals of protesters blocking the way of even ambulances carrying injured policemen. All of this deprived the movement of public sympathy. This was a blessing for the government. Another shot in its arm was a provocative comment of Father Theodosius de Cruz, a protesting leader. He remarked that there was terrorist in the very name of Fisheries Minister V. Abdur Rahman. This was universally condemned. Some media reports also went in favor of government and people who stood in favor of the Vizhinjam port. Some damaging reports said agitators had links with Popular Front, terror groups, and some of their leaders even received foreign funds to sabotage Vizhinjam port project. Anyway, it is good for the state and country at large that the agitation has come to an end, and thanks to the efforts of religious leaders, politicians, and moreover, the Chief Minister in this regard.